Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Global AI Notes. This show we will talk with Paul about how to use OpenAI in Excel. Global AI Notes.
Hello, Hank. How are you?
Hello Paul, welcome to the show. So good to see you here. And you are going to talk to us about OpenAI in Excel. That is a combination I haven't heard before. So can you tell
Yes.
us a little bit about what you're going to talk about?
Yeah, I think that if you are not a data scientist, if you're not an AI engineer, if you're not an IT geek or something else, if you're just a human with human language and maybe one Excel application on your laptop, it's okay. You will enjoy the power of the large language models and ChatGPT.
Super cool. So let's not waste any time. And when you're ready, I can put your screen on. And there we are. And I would
Yes.
say the stage is yours.
Thank you, Hank. Just a little problem of an issue with the screen share. Sorry. Slideshow should be better now. Yes.
Yes,
It's okay.
there we are.
Perfect. Yes. So as you see, I'm a guy from Global AI community too, and I just used some slides from Global AI Bootcamp from 2023. But see you in 2024 for another Global AI Bootcamp. And happy to be a part of Global AI Notes. I'm Paul Peton. I would like to say that I'm a human, a real human, and I'm also Microsoft AI MVP since 2000. 2018, and we are going to talk about Azure OpenAI or ChatGPT as we want. Um, we are going to talk about large language models. And just to begin, I would like to say a few words about use cases. What use cases could you imagine with such a tool as a large language model? And just after that, we will go into the Azure OpenAI service to know how to use the Azure service. But the goal is to use it into an Excel sheet. And so I think the tip today is to run a Power Query script. So to write some M function, and I will show you how to write it. And you will find these functions on my GitHub maybe next month. And what's the different scenario? We will make some different prompts. The prompts are the first command you write to talk with a large language model. And we will see what I call the dynamic prompt, what is a few shots learning technique, and we will talk about context, so much information into the prompt. So let's go. Let's go about the use cases, and I think the best matrix to classify the use cases is this one by Barak Turovsky. Look at the two axes. The first one is the notion of accuracy. You know that if you do some machine learning, you know that we use the metric of accuracy to know if the algorithm is good enough for a task. You have to know that by design, a large language model is not designed to be perfect, to be 100% perfect. And so the use cases for large language models are on the left side of the accuracy X. So if you don't need a big level of accuracy, it will be better for your use cases with generative AI. Second axis is the fluency. We can say that it's the capability of having a talk with, especially with humans. But don't forget that, for example, with AutoGen, which is a new product by Microsoft Research, some LLM will talk with another LLM, and so fluency is the capability to talk together, one human and a large language model, and it's better for your use cases if you need to have a conversation, if you need to engage with language around the use case. And last criteria, but maybe the most important, is the risk you have you take when the model gives you some insights, and you have to make decision with this insight, and you could make a mistake, you could take a bad decision, and you have to evaluate the risk associated to this decision. For example, in the medical domain or security, it could be very dangerous to not to have a human feedback over the LLM prediction. So we will find, I think, good use cases in Excel sheets to work with classical data, with tabular data sets. But we need this tool. This tool is Azure OpenAI Endpoint. I think you already know the what we call the playground. It's here in Azure, not directly in the OpenAI website, but it's Azure OpenAI Azure AI Studio. And with the playground, you can do something like this. Let me switch to the demo. Okay. Hello. You know, global AI community. Okay, so it's chat conversation, and it's very interesting to get the code. Just here, you can have some code in Python, C#, or directly in curl, which could be used just as a command line here. And you will need just two things to communicate with the service. It's the endpoint, as you see here. I used the ChatGPT 4 and the 32K version, and also you need an API key, and that's the only security level with the endpoint. Okay, but my premise is not to use some code, and just to be able to chat with ChatGPT inside an Excel sheet. Okay. Another tool to use this API, if you use the API, you can use something like Postman, but it's quite difficult if you don't know how to parameter to give all the informations we need into the body. For example, here you can see that it's quite difficult to use brackets or brace to double quotes to make the right code. But it's very fine to just have a check on the service, and if it's an answer 200, it's okay. I mean, it's okay. But look at the result here. It's quite difficult to find just the answer of the AI assistant. I have to scroll a little bit. I have this here. You can see all the filter. It's the safety layer over the the model. So my question is safe, okay, and not violent. And the answer is here, the content of the assistant message. Okay, so how can we use this endpoint? Maybe use this sample of code to have a function in Excel. If you got an Excel workbook, maybe you know that there are some formulas here to call an endpoint inside Excel directly. But I didn't manage to do it like this. So I thought about another tool which is Power Query. If you work on Power BI, you know well the extraction, the extract and some load process that you can do in Power Query. And so Power Query, you can define some custom functions. We begin by adding a new query like this, blank query, okay. And in this query, we need to write some code to call the API endpoint. Okay, but it's the M language here. It's not Python. It's not curl. It's not C#. Okay, so go back to the playground. I take the Python version. Okay, just copy and paste. Copy, and I could paste it here in ChatGPT 3.5, and my prompt is, can you convert this Python code into M function for Power Query? Okay, let's see. Doesn't matter if I do some typos, but okay. Seems to be quite good, because we can see a let. It's the structure of a usual M function. Okay, let's copy the code and paste it inside the window here. Okay, one first thing is, which is maybe quite interesting here. You know that we have a very very important information, which is the API key. Maybe in this session, in this video, you will see my API key, but don't forget that I will rotate it after the show, so it won't work if you want to take it. But here the trick is to add the API key inside the text file. Okay, I'm not sure that it will be okay, but never mind. Okay, here we have the message between the user and the assistant. We have some hyperparameters of the model. Just to say a few words about temperature and max token. Temperature is the capability to be creative. One, it's between 0 and 1. If you're on 1, it's more creative. On 0, you will repeat the same answer. It's not really, it's not exactly that, but you can interpret the value like this. And max tokens, it's the length of the answer. Okay, so we have some parameters of the body. We convert all these parameters into a JSON format. Okay, we have headers here with a bearer token. It's the right authentication. And last functions, all these functions are right. It's good M functions. It's okay. Web contents, it's to call the API endpoint. JSON document, format the answer, and after that we go inside the JSON answer to find just the phrase we need. Okay, I will copy and paste my API key, but don't forget that after the show she won't be available. Just here. I'm not sure it will work. It's but just to show you the power of the translation of code. Let me find the key. Okay. So just here. Okay. So no, it doesn't work. So we will have maybe some debug to do, but I will go quicker on my Excel file. Don't forget that I take 2 or 3 hours maybe to elaborate the right function that you will. I will give you I will share the M scripts on my GitHub, and you can take it to do the same work like this. So here we have some functions, but if we have functions, we need data. So the use case here is to evaluate some reviews of products, client reviews of products, and maybe you know the Contoso company, and Contoso had a brand which is AdventureWorks, and we have some products of 10 products, I think, from AdventureWorks here. We have the associate verbatim, a score which is a net promoter score. You can be a detractor, neutral, or promoter of the product, the customer name, and here it's the sentiment, but you can imagine that it's the sentiment correlated with the NPS. So how to generate this data? I don't have written all the verbatims by myself. I just take one prompt, one other prompt, and so the scenario is here. We will do some classification of the verbatims, sentiment analysis, a summary of all the verbatims, and we can make some question and answering if you want on all the data set. So fictive reviews, but generated by ChatGPT. Here is the prompt. So you see it's quite bigger prompt, but it's really efficient to get directly a table. It's very important to format at the end of the prompt. You can ask for the right format of the data set. So it's okay. Now we have data, and we will write some prompts to make the different tasks we need. Just here, just a few words about what is a prompt and the different part of the prompts. The instruction, it's what we need to do, what we want to ask. Context, we can give some elements like the customer name, like the product, and output is, for example, the format we need. Maybe I just need one word, or I need an email for the answer generation. So it's just human language, but you can divide it into a few different parts. And that's the main function written in M language. So let's see some part of this code. Here is the messages between the system, the user, and the assistant. And you need to replace all the carriage returns. You need to replace all the double quotes. And after that, it's okay. You can add some hyperparameters too, and some values which are in the function, that as parameter of the function. And after that, we when we get a 200 status, we can drill down into the answer, the JSON answer, to get the assistant message. Okay, you don't see here, you don't see my API key because I will show you my Power Query, because I divide the function and some parameters, some like environment variables. So here, for example, the model deployment name, the API version, and the API key. So it's quite easy to change just one of this parameter and change the result of the function. One function per task, and just one and one table, which is all the reviews. But I would like to test with a new one. So if you are in the audience, because we are live tonight or today, I would like to ask you in the audience one review about NetVentureWorks city bike, for example. So could you write? I see the messages in the chat. So could you give me, for maybe we change here. It's not a mountain bike; it will be a city bike. So let's give me one review, and we will use here the different prompts, positive or negative or neutral, as you want. So I can have some water. Hank, maybe do you have a review? I don't know if you use a city bike in.
Oh, we need reviews for city bikes.
But can you imagine a review about AdventureWorks city bike?
I'll just ask ChatGPT to write me one. I have one, and let me
Put it in the chat if you want.
the private chat here for you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you very much. And paste it just here. Okay, game changer. I think it's quite positive, but let's decide. First prompt. Thanks, Hank. Thank you very much for your verbatim for your review. First one is to classify this verbatim. So here you have the prompt. I would like to get a category for this verbatim. So I just refresh here the query. Okay. I don't see it here. Quality. Classify. Okay. I cannot refresh a connection on the query. Supervise maybe. I don't know. We could put this one. Okay. Yeah. Sentiment. Okay. I'm not sure that it refresh, but never mind. Well, so I don't see. Yes. The last refresh. Okay. Sorry. I have to, first one, I have to refresh the the query behind the table here. It's the raw demo. Okay. Sorry, let me go back inside Power Query. Okay, this is the right review. And now we can refresh here. Okay. I'm not sure. I have to check the code before pushing it on my GitHub. But let's see on the full table, because I would like to show you that if we let the model do what he wants to do as a category, we can have many different categories. So I do a pivot table with that, and in this pivot table you will see there's 29 categories for 50 products. So it's too creative, and we have to normalize into maybe five categories. So, but it's ideation phase here. We can have some new ideas of category, and after that, in the second prompt here, I will say you have to use the 5 categories which are here in this table. So look at all the final results. Now, if we look at the normalized category, sorry, it's not refresh. Sorry, I have a mistake with this this one. So it should be. So it was, but it's not now. But it should be on the category. That's what I called some context injection, and to put some context inside the system message. It's inside the prompt. I need to concatenate my prompt with some values, and we will have a look at the answer here for all the reviews. You can see here that we use the right name of the customer, because name is just here inside another column, but it's context now for the prompt, and it's the right product. We are talking here about mountain bike, and it's a good one. So here, if everything is working, but it will be when I push it into my GitHub, we can imagine that some Excel users will only write here the prompt, and can just refresh the connection here to get the new values. We can give some examples too for sentiment analysis. Here I can write some verbatim, and here I give the sentiment, negative, neutral, or positive. It's what we call few-shot learning, that we give some examples of what we are waiting for the answer. And you can imagine that just an Excel user will add some examples, and the examples will help the large language model to answer. Sorry for the demo, but I will correct this refresh issue for the version. I will let you on my GitHub. But in a few words, let's conclude about the pros and cons of this method. I think it's very user-friendly, because just have to manipulate some Excel cells, write a prompt which is natural language, and it can help if you know Power Query, but it's not necessary. You can modify the prompts without editing the M functions, and you can compare if you want some prompts to see if this one is better to keep the 5 categories. My last one was better than the prompt you have seen here. But be careful, because I have 50 rows in my table, and each time you refresh the query, you will send 50 queries on the endpoint. So be careful of the consumption, because one query is, even if the query is less than 1,000 tokens, it will be it's one call, one API call. If you need some big prompts, you can't go further than it's 32K characters, and be careful about the API key, because she's hard coded inside the Excel. And maybe for data scientist or ML engineer, can we do the same task with NLP? Yes, we used to do it. So generative AI is maybe a hype today, but don't forget the traditional methods. And I think that it's a good idea to test, to evaluate what can do an LLM, but you need to have other use cases like chatbots, knowledge search, for example, and it will be a good idea to test it on classification or sentimental analysis too. And don't forget, maybe the most important, LLMs by design are not made to be accurate. And if you can evaluate the answer, it's often because you know the answer by yourself. So the real value is in your question, maybe not in the answer of ChatGPT. And that's all for me. Just my GitHub, I will put it in the comments of the LinkedIn Live event.
Yeah.
But wait just a few days that I will correct all the prompts.
Perfect. We will share that GitHub link. Okay, that was very interesting. I would have never thought of using a large language model like that. And it was so cool that it can just convert the code from, like, you pick like the Python library, you said, oh, write this in Power Query, and you get a long way with just one call. We don't have any questions in the chat. So you will share your repository where we can kind of see this?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, yes. I was asking if you are going to share the repository later on.
Yes. I don't know if I can put it directly inside.
Let me copy it.
Yes.
And then I will put it as a message here in the video, so everyone who is watching the video back can also see it. And there we go. The code will be available on that GitHub. Cool. Then I think I want to thank everyone for watching this episode. Paul, thank you so much for sharing this. And I hope to see you all next week.